Welcome to another episode of Your Partnerships Meets with me, your host, Shane Solomon. Today I'm joined on the sofa by Hayley Smith, no stranger to the YP network, of course. Hayley, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you here. Again, we were just talking before we started recording that it wasn't that long ago you was here with the guys from Inspired Motive, Ryan.
Yes, to do the West Country Business Show.
Indeed.
So yeah, I was here having a nice little chat with them as well. So
Well, there we are. Well, look, for those people who don't know who you are, and of course the network will know you very well because you're very active within it, of course, an integral part. For those who don't know about you and what you do with Myriad, just let them know.
yeah, so I started Myriad, 5.5 years ago now, actually, but pre-COVID, but a bit soon pre-COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And that was to help small businesses streamline and automate their businesses using technology, using automation, and now AI tools as well. Although I was sort of using AI before the big OpenAI came out, but on a very small scale. So now everybody's heard of it. It's a lot easier to explain.
Absolutely. I mean, it is everywhere, let's be honest. I mean, but at the same time, you know, I think it's the same thing for me, like when social media really started coming to the forefront and people were like, I keep hearing about the social media, but do you know what? I don't even know if I want to do it myself. And even with AI, which is meant to make things easier, there's companies out there looking for people to say, do you know what, just take care of it using AI for me. Because some people just cannot be bothered. They don't want to understand it.
Well, that's the thing, but understanding AI actually will help you in your job or help you get a new job, a better job. Because those who haven't learned anything about AI now, if they don't soon, then they are going to be left behind. It's not the fact that AI will replace people, but it will replace with other people who have that knowledge.
Sure.
So it's all about upskilling and using it to your advantage. And it's the same with automation as well. Having some sort of idea about how to streamline a business process, saving some time, some productivity within a team can make all the difference.
So can you give me like an example of someone watching or listening to this podcast now of a business case study where they would have applied what you can offer sort of thing?
Yeah, so recently I've been working with a construction company. They were using masses of spreadsheets to manage their day-to-day business, to manage their finances, to manage jobs. All the inquiries that came in, they were logged on a spreadsheet, and then there was another spreadsheet for something else to do with more of the project side, and that was fine. That's how they knew to use it. And it was working for them, but it was very admin intensive. So they had a full-time administrator doing all of these things, even tracking things like their marketing efforts and what was working. Then they found out about me. We sat down and had a chat, and I go, just walk me through, what does a typical day look like? Just walk me through what happens if somebody picks up the phone and calls you and says, I want to build an extension. Take me through the entire process to take him to being a client, and then what happens after. And we had that chat, and I sat there, noted down lots of bits and pieces, and then I said, there is a couple of systems that come into my head that would be perfect for the way you like to use. Similar to like using a spreadsheet, but it's an all-in-one system, and we can create lots of extensions to have it talk to other systems. You can obviously see all your marketing in there, and you can all have your own little task management area, which means you can all manage your own stuff. And they went, this sounds awesome. Can we do this? Can we do that? And I went, yeah, we can create a way around that. That's fine. They've now been using it for 18 months. They've grown the team. We have then brought on the other side of their business, which is the scaffolding side, and we've implemented the same in that business. And they're now going to be growing even further to do their own quantity surveying side of things as well. So in 2 years, they've managed to grow their business by being able to streamline and save so much time managing jobs, managing inquiries, to be able to actually grow the business.
And expand, yeah, absolutely. So really, you're a consultant that can go in and look at people's processes and advise them on...
So I can either consult and advise, and then if they've got IT teams or techie people that want to do it themselves, that's fine. I'm happy to oversee and help. Quite a lot of the time, people get me to actually implement the systems, and usually where they're more complicated, that does involve me because it requires a larger tech knowledge. And my background is in IT, and then I taught myself how to build websites, how to code, all of that. Basically, I'm just a massive geek that I still love. I spend my Christmas holidays usually playing with new tech.
Yeah, I love it. I can relate to it. I can.
So it works very differently for every client. Every business is unique, which means what they need from me is unique. And so
Sure.
that's how I work.
And I guess the scale of businesses can change as well. So you're kind of one man or one person band businesses right through to multinationals.
So I tend to work with teams of up to around about 10 people.
Okay.
It depends on the size of the company, because once we get to a certain level, an off-the-shelf product they're going to outgrow it too quickly. So then we might look at custom development. Now, I don't handle custom development, but I work with different partners in different industries that do.
Sure.
But that takes 18 months to actually plan and implement a custom project, and it's very expensive. You're looking minimum £100,000 at first outlay with another 50 grand a year afterwards. So that's for massive companies that have that outlay and that turnover every year, but it would have to make a significant difference in the company.
Sure.
So it really does depend. That's why I like to have a nice chat with everybody first. And I even ask all the sales team or anybody else who's on the team, I like to say, tell me what you do. Tell me how you do it. Because I think finding that out and knowing exactly how they like to work is the best way to implement a new system in a business, rather than just saying, I've picked this one system, we're all going to use it, whether you like it or not.
Yes,
and
quite, yeah.
that does happen, unfortunately, and it puts people's noses out of joint. So having a more collaborative process works better.
So definitely time to embrace AI.
Definitely.
Don't rely on it 100% though, right?
No, don't rely on it 100%. Always check. But take the time to configure it first.
Sure.
There are ways you can save time by setting something up first, creating maybe your own custom GP that sounds just like you. It knows your business because you've given it all of that info. You've got it to ask you all the right questions. Think of it as a consultant that is learning about you for them to give you the output.
Got you.
So it's like an assistant. Use it like a new assistant.
Now, we've gone into a new year. Of course, 2024 was good for many of us. Hopefully it was good for you too. Networking for you in 2024, what was it like? Was it fruitful for you? Did you enjoy networking in 2024?
To be honest, the only type of lead generation that I do is through networking. I only do networking. For me, trying to have ads and marketing campaigns doesn't generally work because people have got to trust me. They've got to trust me with their data, with their business, and it's really hard to put that trust along in a standard marketing campaign. So I network all over the place.
You certainly do, yeah.
So, I'm based in sleepy little Bovey Tracy in Devon. Yeah, I will come down to Cornwall. I will go up to London, Manchester. Sometimes I'll do some online networking. I do a lot, obviously, with your partnerships because I've been a member since September 2019.
Yes.
So pre-COVID, and that was the first thing I did when I started my business. Go networking.
Yeah, I remember you.
And I was so shy. I would shake and stutter my way through my 60-second pitch. And it took going through COVID actually and doing online networking.
Yeah, that was good.
Staring at my face on a screen whilst I'm doing my pitch.
But you always showed up to that though as well. You was always there. And I always say this in a lot of these podcasts, and it's one of the biggest tips is to keep showing up, Even when life gets busy, you still have to keep networking. Yeah.
Because as soon as you stop, because you've gotten busy, it then dries up and takes you 3 months to restart it back up again.
Absolutely.
You have to make time for networking on a regular basis.
Indeed. And we don't mean that in terms of being all the time, because you've got to have the balance between what you do for work, which earns the income. But, the thing is, and even with me as a seasoned networker and very integral within YP, I can literally be out for a couple of months. And when I go back to the next meeting, I'm like, I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. And you can very quickly lose touch with, of course, there's always the core regulars there, which is very important. But it's amazing the kind of new faces that do appear. And it might be only every couple of months, whatever, but over a few months, they start building.
Yeah, and you don't know what type of connection that person could be to you, to your business, or even to somebody on one of your connections.
That's right.
Because it's not necessarily just about us and our businesses. It's about, actually, you could be a really great introduction for somebody else I know in one of my networks or a client or anything like that. And it's about sharing.
It is. Well, I've done 3 introductions today, via email and WhatsApp for people, just connecting people up of people that I've met in the network.
Yeah.
Now, I know that you're supportive of other networks as apart from just YP, but just for YP for the moment, what is it do you think that YP has that makes it unique? I mean, it's coming at it's over 7 years old now. It's growing continuously year on year. It gets regular great feedback. But what is it for you, Hayley, that kind of keeps you coming back and involved in doing all the stuff that you do to help the network?
For me, I think it really is just about the connections and the relationships you build. During COVID, I met so many great people, and we would be on video calls all the time, just chatting away, just personally. We all became great friends. And I think having those connections that you can go and have, it doesn't all have to be about work. Your business connections, you spend a lot of time with them sometimes. And they can be more than just a business acquaintance. They can be so much more than that.
Yes.
So I think it's really important to recognise that.
Indeed.
So, and YP, for me, I've met most of them through YP.
Sure.
And maybe we've crossed over in other networks as well, and we've gone, oh, hi, yeah, And it's been even better because then I've been able to reintroduce them in those other networks and say, oh, I know this person from your partnerships. And I've reintroduced them to a whole new group.
Sure.
So I think it really is nice being able to do that.
I love the fact of crossing over because I'm a member of a few different networks, and you see other members of like YP there, another event and things like that, and it's just nice again because when you walk into a room as a networker, whether you're new or a seasoned networker, it's always nice to see people you know and to have that common ground. Now, if you was to give one networking tip, and there's plenty of tips out there, what would it be? For possibly a newbie, someone that's really just new in their business and they're looking at all these videos on social media, they're doing the research, and then they hear Hayley say, look, here's a little tip for you.
Well, I've got a bit of a habit that when I meet somebody who's never really been networking or they just moved to the area, I go, right, you need to know about all the networks that are in the area because we have lots of networking in Devon and in Cornwall. So you need to find the right one that suits you to start with. I said, yes, it's fine going off to different networks, but find one, just one that you feel comfortable in, that you know that you'll go back to, and that you'll go to more than once, because there's no point in going once, I didn't like that one. Try different ones in that group first, because there'll be lots of different ones, like a breakfast one or a lunch one or an evening one. You don't know which one's going to suit you in your life. So try a couple, see which one works better, and then just go and after that, go out and find all the other different networks and see again which one feels better. And I think it really is just test the market essentially.
Like finding your home and your vibe kind of thing, really, isn't it? And then from that base, you can then pivot off to...
You've got to find your tribe.
Yes.
You've got to find your tribe, because without it, it's just you on your own sometimes in a business, and that can be sometimes really isolating.
Yes, indeed.
I'm very lucky I share an office with somebody else who does marketing. It helps that she's got the same name as me as well. And we
Hayley
work...
Smith?
Well, Hayley Parker. So she spells exactly the same way I do as well. So if somebody shouts across the room, Hayley, we had to go, which one?
Yeah.
But it means that we can bounce ideas off each other, and that was really important when I moved into that office.
I'm still laughing at Hayley Smith. I'm laughing at my own joke. I'm really sorry.
I have met another Hayley Smith, though.
Oh, my goodness me. Look, 2025, we know what you do, what you offer people, but what's the year look like for you, your kind of plan? I'm not a massive planner for the next 5 years and all that sort of stuff, but for the next 12 months, what does it look like for Hayley?
So for the next 12 months, I'm actually going to be creating digital products that people can buy, like templates for WhatsApp automation, for like warming up their audience or broadcasting to them. Same as email broadcasts, you can do the same in WhatsApp. So I'm going to be creating digital products for things like that, for Instagram, DM, and things like that, because you can automate all these different things. If someone comments on something, you can have it automatically send them a DM with whatever free lead magnet is that you're trying to promote. And using that automation is really important, but getting it right as well. So I'm going to have lots of digital products around automation, around AI prompting. I already have a shop set up, actually, which I've had up for the last year and I've just been sort of playing with. And then, but this year it's going crazy. It's going to go crazy. There's lots that's going to be on there.
Well, obviously we know we're going to see you out and about on the networking scene for sure. All these wonderful different opportunities we've got this year with, the lunches, with the breakfast, with the evening dues, with the elite club. There's so much to get delved into this year. But what's the best mode of communication for you? I know that everyone has their preferred. You know, for me personally, I like a good voice note over an email any day. But what's the best for you?
Well, whichever. I mean, LinkedIn probably is the best way to find me under Hayley Andrews Smith.
Indeed.
Because you Google Hayley Smith and you get an American Dad character.
Is that right?
So I told my husband off for not letting me hyphenate with my maiden name. So I've put my maiden name in as a middle name, essentially.
Got you. Well, we'll put the link to your
So
LinkedIn.
Hayley Andrews Smith. Find me on any platform using that one because nobody else has that name.
Is that right? Wow. Well, we'll make sure we put your LinkedIn profile link in the description into YouTube here anyway, so people can just instantly click on it. They don't have to search you. But yeah, and they can just contact you through there.
They can voice note me through LinkedIn, send me a little message, connect with me. I'm happy to have a chat, even just meet anybody who thinks that they might just want to have a coffee and talk over a few things.
Well, what an absolute pleasure. Hayley, it's always lovely to see you. When Brock told me today that you was coming in, I think, I love Hayley. He always radiates such good positive energy as well.
Thank you.
I love. So
It's always lovely to see you in one of your colourful shirts.
I know, I need to get some new ones actually. I keep wearing the same ones. Well, look, there you go. Look, if you're not already connected with Hayley, make sure you do so. The links will be in the description here, somewhere up here, down there at the side, wherever you find it on your socials. But as always, my thanks to Jay Kennett, who's produced this podcast for us here today from Qualcomm Media Studios. And for myself and to Brock, we will see you at a meeting very, very soon. Make sure you take advantage of the 30-day free trial pass as well, and perhaps catch up with Hayley and myself at a meeting soon. Thank you very much, Hayley.
Thank you very much, Shane.